We're always hearing about the latest, greenest, best environmentally friendly buses all over the world. But actually we never ever talk about the bus stop. The bus stop is that invisible moment in time when you shift from being a pedestrian on the footway to being a passenger on a bus, a magical transformation. And so it's a special place, but we ignore it. That has a real potential for change because there are so many bus stops. There's 20,000 bus stops in London alone. There are millions all over the world. So if we could do something really special with bus stops, maybe we could actually make a change in the world. So we decided we'd do something a bit different with this. And we thought, well, why don't we just sort of play with a few? So we took a couple in London and decided that we would just compose them a little bit differently so that they would be a bit surprising, a bit unusual, and just see what would happen. So what we decided to do was to find out what people actually want. Too often we spend our lives looking at the engineering, the science, the planning, the mathematics of transport, and we don't pay enough attention to what people actually want. The furniture bus stop is basically a set of rooms. Imagine a set of rooms in your house. So we want to see if people respond better to actually sitting in a bus stop working in an office, or would they rather sit in the bus stop as they would in a lounge at home, tweeting or whatever. The musical bus stop is essentially made up from pressurized seats. So as you sit on them, they will record that pressure and we then synthesize that signal into music. And as more people move around on the seats, so the music will change. We also have a series of pads on the bus stop that you can strike, you can hit. So we have mallets that you can hit it with. And when you hit it, you will get an array of different sorts of sound, depending on which pad you hit. And those sounds and the seat sounds are then synchronized. So we can actually start to create people playing tunes and people playing a rhythm together.
Oh, it's really cool. I've never seen something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing because normally it's boring to wait the bus, so with the music it's gonna be amazing.
We would like to see a more comfortable things at cinema, music on the bus stops.
Yes, like a sofa maybe with music like this one.
I'm from Spain and we don't have anything like that, so I would love to see something like this in my country.
I'm from Italy, we don't even have a bus stop, so it's gonna be so cool in Italy.
Yeah, I think it's just experimental and it's really enjoyable.
I think it was really cool. We tried out some tunes. We need to work on them, so maybe if our buses are late, then we'll come up with some really good tunes, hopefully. I've never even thought of anything to expect from a bus stop. I've had really low expectations when it comes to bus stops, so this has opened a whole new world up for me.
And honestly though, because it is quite depressing waiting for a bus sometimes.
Yeah.
The worst thing is, of course, is when there's loads of people and you're all fighting to get on it. It's very undignified for Londoners. You have to put up quite a lot anyway, travelling. So I think, the more enjoyment you could get out of having a bus stop, the better.
Yeah. We'd like a musical bus stop, definitely, wouldn't we? Yeah.
Nowadays, I think that bus stops tend to be not very comfortable. There's often not that much space. You end up having to stand up. So it'd be great having sofas where you can kind of sit down and relax.
It really transformed the bus stop, I think, to something else. And once this is done in one bus stop, it's easily to think about how other bus stops could do the same in a way to create a different way of being at this place?
Well, looking at people using all the stuff that we've created, it's been amazing. Even since before we started, like at 8, people were just coming by and the furniture was in the sidewalks and they were just chilling and they were like, what's this? But it just fills me with joy to see that people are actually doing things.
Why should getting on a bus be so boring and such a chore? If we can actually make people want to be on the bus and want to be outside and want to interact with their city, then we actually have a city which is much more civilized. Part of that's about waiting. Let's not wait in line. Why should we actually do that? Why don't we actually have places where people want to be and the bus happens to come as well? And what we're really about is trying to understand how to engage the public in the whole joy of actually moving around the city and discovering new things about how they are, how the city is, and so on. So I see the buses as a bit of a sort of subversive agent of change. This is how we can actually get society to move better using the transport system, buses particularly because they come so close to us. They live on our streets, they work on our streets and all the rest of it. If we can actually get people to engage with them much better, then we can have a much, much more civilized society, and buses are the way we can get that.